So following World War I is usually termed the interwar years. Coming out of that war, there was a lot of assessment of the key drivers of the conflict and how that affected the military and the way the military performed in World War I. Much discussion usually relates to that interwar period, and coming out of World War I involves the warfare itself. So how the warfare evolved over time and how professionals had to adapt and overcome those changes. Things like the increase of the use of field artillery, trench warfare, the use of armor, the use of air power being the most discussed aspects of the interwar years. But additionally, coming out of that war, General Pershing was charged with, and one of his subordinates, Fox Connor, did an assessment of the US Army and its organization, specifically the division size. Were the size and the use of the units in the US Army appropriate to what happened in the past in World War I, and looking into the future to any future conflicts. And then of course there was an assessment across government about the mobilization and lessons learned coming out of the mobilization of almost 4 million men and women put into uniform in support of that war, about 2 million that were sent over into France. So both the military aspects of that mobilization, but also the industrial aspects. So how did we gear up industry, how did we gear up society, and how did we gear up the military for that conflict?